Hey guys, welcome to my live stream. I'm 10 minutes late or so. I was charging the phone. That I have a little bit more on the battery. But yeah, now it's like 93% or something like that, and that will be enough. So welcome to my stream. Welcome to my cactus live stream. Vegetables also. I talk about that. I brought some of the chilies that I have grown, little chili plants. They aren't really big yet, and I need to repot them, but they're there. Hey, welcome to the stream. Good morning. Let me just turn off the automatic. I need to find the way where I can turn this off completely, that it always translates the chat. We'll see if I find that. I just can't sync in two languages at the same time. I mean, I can do it sometimes, but it's not good for long, you know? So yeah, great to be back. Thank you guys for being in my stream. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been charging the smartphone, trying to get maybe to 95%. Didn't get there but eventually it's something like 93. That should be enough. I still haven't a long enough like cable, you know, divider for the electricity here. I have a cable, and like that thing is shaped in such a weird way that I can't really put a lot of the equipment on it. So I only have that one socket, one electrical socket here. So I always have to decide if I want light, you know, if I want additional light or charging the phone. And I usually choose the light because it's important that it's not so dark. So yeah, welcome to my stream, guys. I brought a lot of stuff again, a lot of cool seedlings that I want to show you. Maybe we're repotting that one seedling I've discussed here. We'll see if I find a few pots. I've been cleaning pots again, cleaning the greenhouses. A lot of work. We're getting started for the new season. Everything's gearing up. Won't take long. Like today, I thought about starting to water in the greenhouses. Like the little plants, the little seedlings, the grafted plants. I might actually start fertilizing sometime soon. I saw that the cranes are already back. Like last week, or maybe it was this week. I was here in the live stream, and the cranes flew over town, and I could hear it inside the room here, and it was so impressive. So many cranes. I wish I could have seen it, but I didn't want to end the live stream. So yeah, but they are back, and they often say that over here you can kind of it's an indicator if we get a strong if the winter continues to be a thing or not. And apparently everything's looking good, that the worst is over, the coldest time is over. So yeah, let's get started. I brought a lot of containers full of cactus seedlings, and I want to discuss them all with you. So let's have a look. These are little bags, like plastic bags with square pots full of cactus seedlings. Let me show you how they look. These are maybe 2.5 months old. By now they might actually be 3 months old. And the smaller ones are still in the bag. They originally, like in the first couple months, they really need that humidity. So I have them in a bag. If you take them out like too early, it will end badly. The smaller the seedling, the less likely it will be able to survive if, like, within the first months outside a bag. In nature, a lot of seedlings would not survive, you know? If you look at it like this, from a point of view that they don't get that bag in nature, like, but outside in nature, nobody cares if 1 million little seedlings just expire, you know, in the sun, because they are not getting that shade, not getting that humidity that we are giving them when we have them either in the bag or in this container with a lid. So yeah, that gives you an advantage. So you don't have to grow 1 million seeds to have a few large plants. Everything we grow, we have a high rate of seedlings that survive, and that is good because you want to see what comes from these different hybrid crosses that I or other breeders made. A lot of different interesting cacti that are paired here, and I'm always looking forward discussing the seedlings, looking at the first traits that can already tell you a little bit about what kind of a body they might have, that kind of thing, you know. Hey mates, welcome to the stream. Great to have you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. I'm always doing a little cactus seedling discussing in the beginning, like discussing the seedlings that we have grown here. So yeah, great to have you. And yeah, let's get started. So these are in cemetery soil. It was the first soil that I experimented with in the stream, and yeah, for that they look good. I could actually, they have the right size to take them out of the bag, and I think that's what we are doing today. They have reached that little size. You can't really put a firm size limit on it and say at that size they are. It's totally safe to take them out of the bag, but the bigger they are, the smaller the risk when you take them out that they will not adjust to the new humidity setting appropriately. Hey mate, greetings to Italy. Great to have you too. Thank you. Right now it's raining here. Might be raining some more. Kami and Mika, they didn't really wanna go out like yesterday. So yeah, great that you have a little sunshine. Apart from that, the seedlings look okay. Healthy color, healthy skin color. A little bit of yellow, but that isn't really, you know, like a touch of yellow. But it's at this point, it's not a huge thing. We will take them out now and start fertilizing them, and then that color will change again, I'm sure. Apart from that, I saw that little seedling here, like that white thing on the lower left. That's a seedling that expired, unfortunately. You can't save them all. In this case, if you ask me what might have been the reason for that, probably fungus gnats at this point. With this soil, it has just proven to be very, very vulnerable for fungus gnats. They had loved that root barkiness of the medium. There was a lot of root bark in it, and yeah, it just keeps the soil wet long enough that these guys can have a great time. So yeah, so these go out now, out of the bag. Great to that I can finally start fertilizing them. Here's some seedlings that I transplanted not long ago, just recently. And when you transplant them right away, like in the beginning, in the first few days, you might have to correct some of the seedlings because they, in the new soil, they haven't found their fixed position yet. Sometimes when you start watering, the soil sinks a little in, and that leads to a little bit of instability in the seedlings. And I want to fix that now. There's a seedling lying here that I want to pick up again, give my friend a new solid stand, solid connection to the soil. Apart from that, yeah, there are a few more that really need to be corrected. Here's a small one that doesn't look good, might not. Maybe it's not making it. It's just when you have, like these I have dropped 3 square pots with seedlings at once, and that was really unhealthy for them. They're just not, they just don't like being dropped on the floor. Had to like pick them up one by one, repot them in the new soil. So a few of the seedlings might not make it, but most of them look healthy. Just correcting the seedlings a little that are crooked. I like that when they are really straight, not touching anything with, you know, when they're leaning over to the side and touching the soil at a different point again. I find that really bad for the seedling, because once they are on the ground, it doesn't really take much from a pest or just, you know, poor health, because it doesn't really have a good connection to the soil, and then it doesn't take much. One injury and you lose the seedling because it's so close to the dirt. So I often correct crooked seedlings. I try to really fix, not only working on it. I really try to have them that I don't have to do it again. Okay, so this is all right for now. Always got to be careful not to pierce the skin of the little seedlings. These are interesting, and these got mixed. I have both labels written on the pot, so maybe we can at some point when they are bigger look at the body and say which one of the two crosses it is. I usually can. Some parents, they leave a mark, and when you are unsure between two labels, I usually write both on the tag, and after 5 years the world might look different. I might have these clear different to know what it was before you forgot the label or something like that. So these here are too deep in the pot. I would love to just take this whole thing out. Sometimes when the soil is dried out, then you can just turn it around, get the soil out, fill up a little bit with how much additional soil you would want in here, and then put it back. But it's not looking good. I think we might have to transplant them. Transplanting young seedlings is really, in most situations like that, the better approach. Because even if you can get it out and fill up the pot to make up for that big gap that I have there now, the soil would still be very dry, like a brick of stone. So you had that firm boundary in the pot where the old pot was, and that often doesn't go away. So we will probably transplant them sometime soon. This is Caesar La Uwe Kala hybrid cross. Caesar La crossed with pink stripes. Really good. Really good stuff. I'm a fan of Uwe Kala hybrids. He's probably the breeder who influenced my whole collection the most. And yeah, that's a great modern kind of hybrid that he's creating on a regular basis now. Okay. So let me see here. This doesn't look good, honestly. We have to really have a closer look at this. I'm not sure if the soil is all right. Everything has a little bit of unhealthy look to it. The seedlings look okay, but some of them aren't straight. Some of them are leaning a little. And very often that could mean fungus gnats. It also looks like there were a few seedlings that disappeared, that aren't there anymore. So we really need to be a little careful here. Here's a seed. Here is what probably was a seedling too. Yeah, and not like sometimes you only find a little bit of skin left of a seedling, and that's usually when fungus gnats eat them. So yeah, that is not good. Once you have them, you really have them, you know. So yeah, apart from that, the other seedlings look okay. I corrected a few, just the position of the seedling to make sure it isn't just seedlings coming up a little bit crooked, you know, crookedly. So let me put in a little water. By the way, I brought a tub. Check it out. In the future, I want to use this thing to work, like when I'm repotting something. That allows me to do it here on the stream, and I don't really turn my whole office into the garden. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to show you that. We might use it later. In this case here, the seedlings are 18A 2000 Pseudolobivia hybrid by Andreas Wessner. I haven't really seen the parents of it, but it's consistently good. Like offspring of it is consistently good. I trust it. I really trust that hybrid, that I want to grow offspring from it. You often have to invest the time to look at all the other all the offspring that other breeders were able to produce with a certain plant. You have to look at that, and that can tell you which plants would be a waste of time and which ones wouldn't be. And in this case, and it wasn't easy because this is a hybrid where there aren't so many other hybrids, like follow-up hybrids around. And but the ones that I found were consistently great. So that tells me that it is worth to at least grow a few different hybrid crosses with that plant. In this case, what was it? Doesn't say, but it was probably that other Pseudolobivia hybrid that I have, that AKS 2015 HSK 71. I don't know, HSK4, something like that. But I don't. It's just a long number. Sometimes when you grow plants, they have a long number. Like they stand for the year, the number of crosses that year, like the this and that cross of the year, that kind of thing. Okay, this is one where I tried a second germination attempt. These didn't come up originally. I tried to sow out cactus seeds here, and yeah, I did not get viable seedlings. Then after putting some work and energy into letting the soil dry out, trying to, I waited until everything was really dry, and then I started to water again. Put them in the bag again to try a second time with humidity to induce the germination, and that finally produced 2 seedlings here. They are not big, they don't look super healthy, so we might lose them, but now we have seedlings. Hey mate, greetings. Yeah, I was born in Saarland, Germany. Great place, in between, like with a little bit of both Germany and France. Really nice place. So yeah, these 2 seedlings, they are too small now. Can't take them out. Need to be in humidity. But it gives me hope that we at least have 2 seedlings. We didn't have that in the beginning. The first germination attempt failed completely. So yeah, let's see what we have here. So, okay, yeah. Here's a lot of seedlings that are a little bit yellowish. Discoloration could be unhealthy, like, malnutrition when you have them in the bag. I only start fertilizing when I take them out of the bag. And it would be time, So we might actually take them out of the bag now. But that means I have to spray very often during the day, because once you take them out of the bag, you have to make up for that humidity that they are losing every day. Inside the house, the little seedlings lose so much water. And I usually water them like 3 times a day, spraying them. So yeah, in this case, I feel like taking them out too. I just don't like the color. This could be variegation. Could very well be like albino seedlings. You have that like, it's a spectrum in a way, and you can have it complete albino, and you have them with a little bit green, and everything in between. So we will see how they will grow, if they stay yellowish when they are fertilized and when I let them grow for maybe a year. For now, I want to take them out. They haven't grown so much. That is the one thing that worries me a little, because normally when I take seedlings out, they should already look like this maybe, and they're a little bit behind. But yeah, at some point the old soil becomes devoid of enough nutrients, so you have to start fertilizing. And when I fertilize in a closed bag, you're really promoting, like, it kind of degrades the soil in that humidity, because you're feeding the algae, you're feeding the competing kind of pests also. And the seedlings, if you fertilize too much, they don't really grow healthily. They grow, but it goes at the cost of a healthy cell. good resistance against fungal infections, that kind of stuff, you know. So let's have a look at these. These are very young, just the first 2 weeks or so. Cactus seeds are always sprinkled on top of the soil, and then you give it a little light, humidity, the right temperature, and this is what you get in the first 3 weeks maybe. I hope that they will start growing now. At this point, you can't tell. There are 1 or 2 seedlings that are fully variegated, so that could mean that these will grow very slowly, not the way they are supposed to grow. These are Imperialis, Echinopsis imperialis, and Echinopsis grandiflora or other Echinopsis. Hey guys, seems to be that the wireless dropped a little, but I think I'm back. So yeah, we'll have to see how they will come out here. At this point, we might get a few super healthy seedlings, and that would be enough. The variegated seedlings will probably not make it long term. But for now, I just close this thing up again. Here's a little grass thing that has germinated. I try to get it out without injuring the seedlings here. I find that grass, these kinds of fast-growing weeds, they root so deep within short time that it's really hard to get them out later. So I try to do it right away. Okay, these will go into the bag again. In regards to the time frame, this needs to stay at least a month, an additional month in the bag, maybe longer. We would see. For now, the variegated seedlings here look like they will hold until the next week. So I will close it up again, and we'll discuss that again next time. Okay, so here's also one of those seedlings that were in the original soil, that blackish kind of soil, and they haven't grown much for that. Like, I stopped sowing out into that soil maybe a month ago, and these should be much bigger. So I'm at, like, the problem here is that you might not be able to take them out of the bag yet. They are still very small, but I want to start fertilizing them. So that is the thought process behind that, what we're doing now. And I think at some point we will have to take them out regardless of the small size, because it's also important that the soil dries out from time to time when they are bigger. I really like that. It keeps away the problems. And yeah, but with seedlings like this, they don't really have a lot of substance to them. And once you put them under a plant lamp, they can dehydrate too fast. So I will try to take them out now, but I will try to put this in the shade somewhere in the shelf on the second stage. Okay, let's have a look at one of the takeaway containers that I've also tested. These are food takeaway containers. I've been sowing out mostly in square pots like these, and in a bag, because the bag allows you to just take it, like you take it away if you don't need the humidity anymore, and the pot already has drainage holes. That's the whole idea behind sowing out in square pots with bags. And in this case, a lot of people use takeaway containers, food takeaway containers, stuff for salads, noodles, whatever. You know, you can get these in different sizes, different manufacturers, so they can be used. And a lot of people do it, and I wanted to test it out. So we have a bunch of them here. They are way behind the other seedlings because I started later with them. But so far they are developing nicely. Check it out. This is maybe after 2 weeks. Seedlings have started to germinate within the first 7 to 10 days. And this is maybe the 10 days after, when they are starting to finalize, you know, to grow into their final position after after germinating. And we have a lot of seedlings in this thing. This needs to be, we need to work here very, very, like a lot. Oh, by the way, this was a container where I did a seed test, a viability test, because the first germination test failed completely. I did multiple containers in the square pots here. And yeah, I tried to induce germination 2 times, and both times it failed. And in this case, I tried it again, just to see maybe the seeds that I have are unviable, you know, to rule that out. And seems that the seeds were not the problem. You have that sometimes. I can't really tell you what. Sometimes you have like the soil dries out too fast, and that keeps away the humidity. So maybe this container here, because it doesn't have the drainage holes, it allowed the seeds to soak in a little, like to let the water soak a little longer. If you have it in something like this, the humidity is often like going away, sinking down, then condensation on the top again. And with that one, you kind of don't have that so badly. You have condensation, but it often drips down again. So this could be good for seeds that have been difficult with other kind of containers. I'm really surprised to see so many seedlings here. I did not, after the first attempts, I did not see that coming. So great, I'm happy about that. The plant is amazing. The plant, like the mother plant that this came from, is amazing. I was so happy it was the first fruit on that plant. And yeah, I'm just glad because so many people have asked about it. So yeah, in this one also, takeaway container, filled up, maybe half, a little bit more than half. And that gets you in trouble with the lid very fast. Like the moment they are a little bit bigger, they are already touching the lid, or at the very least, the condensation on the lid. But yeah, healthy seedlings for now. From a Lubivia hybrid called Vers 11. In this case, crossed with another Lubivia hybrid, Rolf Autenried hybrid. Yeah. And I can close this up again for now. Looks okay. I can't really see a lot of seedlings that have fallen down here, because that has been one of the big concerns with them all the time, consistently. A lot of seedlings that are just suddenly, when you're watering, whoop, and they wash away. So yeah, apart from that, takeaway containers, it works. Here's another one. Check this out. Wow. This is Arboricola, Sörensia arboricola crossed with Zelli and Pink Stripes. Pink Stripes is what I added to that. I felt like Pink Stripes, Arboricola, and Zelli, that combination, wow. And it's great to have seedlings here. So many. This has been slow in the beginning too. So yeah, for now they are too small to take them out. You couldn't. You would have a huge problem on your hand to just fill up the water. How big can those get? It depends. I'm using different species. Some of the columnar cacti in nature, they get huge, like house-sized, 4 meters, maybe 4-5 meters, sometimes even. But when you're making hybrid crosses with them, you're also kind of decreasing the size, because very often the father that is used is something smaller. A lot of the color hybrids have come in existence by breeding in something colorful, and a lot of the colorful plants that are out there, they have a smallish kind of body. Being it Echinopsis, like Echinopsis oprepanda, or the species that are now in Sörensia, like Schickendanzi, like Huasha, those those smaller species, when you use them as a father, it often decreases the size. So I would guess that most will eventually reach maybe 2 meters, a height of 2 meters at the most. And there are many that will only get maybe 50 centimeters tall because of the species that are involved there. I do a lot with candicans, with Sörensia candicans, and they don't get so big. You know, they get maybe a meter tall, maybe a little bit more in hybrid situations, but they definitely decrease the size if you use them. And yeah, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to get something more columnar, something bigger. But my greenhouses are a little bit the limit, because every time my plants reach 2 meters, I have to cut them back. I have to prune them back. And then that kind of decreases their ability to flower again. So maybe one day I will build me a taller greenhouse that I can let them grow tall a little bit more. So yeah, we're all working on it. We all would love to have these huge cacti with nice, colorful flowers. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been, you know, at some point you run out of mistakes to make. You have made every mistake possible, and that gets you good. That makes you good. It's really that simple. So yeah, let's have a look at these. Also, healthy seedlings. A lot of seedlings here. I think this is the same. Also, arboricola, zelly, and pink stripes. Yeah, and the mother here, that is a misplant hybrid. I love those. Really good ones. I'm a fan, you know. I've seen him come up over the years, and I'm just happy that when you look at the hybrid landscape today, you see so many hybrids by him. He's a little insane, angry. You know, man is angry, but I understand. Life is difficult. So yeah, I'm a fan, okay? And I'm glad that these are growing. So yeah, let's have a look. These are looking, this I like the green here. I opened them up. I was surprised by the green. Compared to the others, this is a totally different kind of color. I like that. So let me see what we have here. What? Oh, it's a hybrid between a columnar trichocereus, and Sörensia tunariensis, in an attempt to get a better flower, because of the petal shape. The petal shape of the father is so great, and it could result in an amazing, beautiful flower. Maybe not colorful, you know, because the colors that are in the father were also a little bit more natural, but it can influence the shape. You can have a very beautiful flower shape when it's opening up. So this is a promising cross. So yeah, and the green color, that really is a good sign. I don't often see seedlings come up with such a glowing green. That is a good sign. So yeah, and I'm always happy to take questions, guys. If you want to, you know, it's interactive, I'm always happy to help. If not, yeah, let's continue here. This is Amun-Re. Amun-Re is such a great hybrid. I get messages every week, and I would love to help propagating that hybrid, but only if my conditions are met. I will not feed. I would not support feeding the price gouging that is happening right now with that clone, with Amun-Re. A lot of, like I said, I get messages every week because it's such a beautiful flower, and it's rare. And it's rare without a good reason, because there were people who distributed that clone for free over the years, all the time, who kind of gifted it under the condition that they are gifted again. And today I just see immense price gouging. Like prices, I've seen one sold for 500 euro, and I hated that. I hate that this is kind of preventing the community from being able to grow that plant, because only people with a lot of money can grow it. I was poor coming up, you know, like as a cactus breeder, I was poor. I only got what friends gave me, what I got through connections to good friends. And I want to be like that again, like for the next generations. I want to remind people to be like that. And so if there's a plan to propagate Amun-Re, I would be happy to support it. But it needs to be under the condition everything is free. Cuttings are made available for free, you know, it's just a beautiful plant. And I would, so if people really have the setup, they can contact me and I would be happy to help. If not, I'm making crosses with them. It's a very good hybrid also for breeding. I see a lot of potential in it, you know, and a lot of people are growing those seeds now. Amun-Re paired with all kinds of different parents. So at the very least, I'm sure some of the offspring will come up very similar. Like if it just has the same kind of flower and someone in Australia can grow it from my seeds, that would be great. You know, it's a permitted species for import. You know, people have the right to grow them. So yeah, only one seedling or two, but like here's one, but that second seedling doesn't look good, not healthy. I'm glad that I have one right now in this container. I'm not sure if like how viable the seeds are. You have seen the test that we did, like that other test. Sometimes you just have seeds that fail and they come up a second time because maybe the heat was not enough or too much. Yeah, it is so easy to miss that specific range of temperature in the middle that you need. So just because we haven't had so many seedlings in this hybrid cross doesn't mean that they weren't completely viable. I would see if I have more seeds, but probably not. Some of those with the poor genetics could also be because some of the hybrids were already small. Okay. Yeah, three little seedlings that have come up in the second germination cycle. Like I discussed earlier, sometimes when they fail the first time, I dry them, let the soil dry out completely and do it again later. And this is after later. Way later. 3 seedlings now, but they are a little too small to take them out. This seedling here is much bigger than the others. Like they are taller, but this one's more developed, has better spines. These don't really have spines yet, but I can see them here. So these two, they aren't looking so good for the size. They should already be a little bit bigger. For now, I need to leave them in. I would love to take them out, start fertilizing, but these are tiny. So we will see. Let me see what kind of a hybrid this is. This is with Angelo, and that explains it a little. Angelo is a hybrid that where I have planted older seeds, because I had lost my mother plant of the hybrid Angelo, and I was pretty distraught about it. So I've been sowing out older seeds, and in that case, the germination rate is just not so good. Or you might have to do more to get them to germinate then. So yeah, and these here, they also show poor genetic health or poor general health, you know, because when the seedlings come up after a few years, there's just not so much energy anymore. So much they just really decline. The health of the seedlings that you get from older seeds. Okay. In this case here, this is also in the first soil that we have been working with, cemetery soil. Yeah, it was very organic, stayed wet for too long a little, wasn't really, it came with a huge delivery of fungus gnats, so I'm trying to move away from that, but these are also too small. The fact that they are so small in that old soil tells me this is maybe 2 months old and they should have grown by now. Either that or this was also second germination cycle. I can't really tell right now. But yeah, they are not giving me a lot of hope because they are so small now. Okay, I will close it up again. Can't really do much here. Maybe I will try to correct the seedling here and there. But yeah, that's it. If I take them out now, I will have a hard time compensating for the loss of water. You might lose them within just a few days. A lot of people keep the seedlings in the bag for very long. A lot of experienced people that I trust enough to have that knowledge that they can do it for so long. But the less experience you have, the more difficult it gets to leave them in. Because at some point you just need to know when you can't save it, when you have to react, when you have to change something. And yeah, so you often take seedlings out. Sometimes you take when you don't have experience, you take seedlings out too early. You kind of misjudge the type of medium that you have, and that means that long term, this is a learning experience, and on the long, you will learn about that. So yeah, let's have a look here. These were transplanted into sowing soil. They look okay, but not healthy. One or two seedlings, they had been attacked by fungus gnats. So they definitely need to stay in there. Just because they are a little bit stressed, I don't like how they look. So they will stay in the bag for longer. Like I might have a bad connection. Switching to the mobile. In case I'm going offline, I'm switching back, but I just wanted to say I've been experimenting to improve the connection here. Yeah, here in the container, takeaway container, and a lot of healthy seedlings. This is also columnar hybrid crossed with a colorful father. Healthy green seedlings, there are a few with a little bit more yellowish skin in between, but that's okay. I'm happy with them. They need to stay in there a little longer, maybe 3 weeks, another 3 weeks for the small ones. You always have to look at the small ones, and those are your standard, whether you can start taking something out or not, at least unless you want to really sort out early and lose seedlings left and right. Okay. This one, I transplanted a few seedlings into sowing soil in a takeaway container. And they are recovering slowly, but still not looking great. Those weren't really healthy in the beginning. This is also from the older Angelo seeds. So yeah. Hey mates, welcome to the stream. Great to have you. Seedlings are doing great. I mean, most of them. You always lose a few, but it looks okay. They're turning out nicely, I think. And it's starting to show the first real differences between the seedlings, you know. It's an interesting time when you finally start seeing what you have there. Okay, so here, this is one with Humkes Roro that I've been discussing. Yeah, genetically not so healthy. So I have two very small seedlings that don't go anywhere. I believe they don't stand a chance long term. But these two, they look green, they look healthy, they have spines. We might actually be cooking with those two. And at some point, maybe they will develop into large, healthy plants. For now, this is a little bit too small compared to what I would want them to be before I take them out. So they will stay in the bag a little longer. But I'm currently just looking at the two bigger seedlings because I've seen that the smaller ones on the left go nowhere. These are variegated seedlings that would have to be grafted, and we're not really holding the hand of every little seedling that doesn't want to live. So yeah, I will focus on the 2 healthy ones here. Eventually we will graft, but it won't be right now. It also depends on having enough grafting stocks. So yeah, we're not there yet. At least not inside with the seedlings. Okay, no, I've discussed those. I think I've discussed those. Let me close this up again. See what I have here. Okay, yeah, a few very small cactus seedlings. First kind of couple weeks small. And these are with Echinopsis subdenudata. Interesting Echinopsis with a longish tube, white flowers, but a nice shape. And I really see potential in Echinopsis subdenudata. For now, I've been making crosses with it, a few different ones. And this is one of them from last year. And I have 5 seedlings here. If I can get 1 or 2 plants eventually, that would be great. I tried to improve the flower. I pollinated with a big flower, big yellow flower. And that has potential. That could really result in a big flowering Echinopsis subdenudata or something in between. Okay, so this one here, also a columnar crossed with a color hybrid from 2024. Yeah, not really clean looking. Like if sometimes you look into a container and you see the seedlings are all very clean, but then there are times when they come up and already look unhealthy, lying there a little in between. Not, you have the healthy seedlings here, you see them there, but there are also the smaller, maybe unhealthier seedlings in between. So that already concerns me, because if you have that, you have a high chance that one of those or maybe more of those seedlings will turn into a fungal infection. For now, I just try to correct a little, like little seedlings that are crooked, that have a unhealthy position because they don't touch the soil with the root. I fix that, because that can sometimes help. To get rid of like when a seedling isn't able to grow. Sometimes there's a reason that goes beyond just poor genetic health. Sometimes it's just lack of water because the seedling is so crooked. And you can fix that by putting them a little deeper, but carefully, because they are also so tiny that you can't press on them very firmly. They don't take that. So yeah, for now, I cleaned up a little, but this is worrying me a little because some of the small seedlings, they do not look like they would grow. I have a good feeling for that. Hey, Robert, good morning. Great to have you. Great to have you, and also great everyone else. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. We are growing cactus seedlings here. Little cactus seedlings, different types, in containers and in square pots. All kinds of different things. Yeah, this is the one that I had. Okay. My desk is so full that every now and then I lose overview here. I lose control of the desk. Okay. Yeah. So many. Why so many? Apart from that, also giving me that kind of unclean look when you have seedlings that already lie there ready to start to decompose, really not healthy. Here's a bigger seedling. Here, this one that is leaning over. I hate when I see that. So often a sign for fungus gnats. So I try to correct that in case it's just maybe a little weak, just having a bad day. Yeah, and a few more of the seedlings I also correct the position, because I don't want the seedlings in between, failing, starting to rot. If there's something that we lose, and it will happen eventually, at some point, it always happens, you need to be ready and take that out. Don't leave anything organic that can spread disease, be a bad influence. Okay, let's see here. These look a little bigger. Quite happy. Always good when you open a container with these food takeaway containers and they look healthy. Because with those, I'm torn. I'm really torn about the takeaway containers now that I have the years of experience that I didn't have when I was working with them. But yeah, looking good so far. Very few of those seedlings here worry me, where I look at them and feel, okay, this might go away within the next couple of weeks. I don't get that feeling here, and that is usually genetic health, good health when they come up. Sometimes you can really see the genetic health in the seedlings. Okay, this is Lobivia. We will see. The plant here, the mother plant, it can literally produce the best hybrid in the world or the worst. It really has potential for both. So we will see. And that is a little bit how I look at myself, you know. I always think I have so much potential, but sometimes, you know, you never do it justice. At least that's how I see it. And with this hybrid, you can never tell what happens, if it will be total failure or not. I've had so many white flowering hybrids from that, but I've also had those insanely amazing other hybrids that when you see them, you say, wow, this stands out, you know. In this case, no success, total failure. I hate it. I really hate it when that happens. I like healthy seeds. I like viable seeds, and this isn't it. You are disappointing to me. Let me see what it is. Leuchtfeuer, and that made it worse. That really made it worse, because that is a good hybrid that I love. German hybrid called Leuchtfeuer. What's the word? It has something like a glowing fire, something like, but there's a word for it, but I just forgot. I will remember it again later when I don't need it. But yeah, it's a good hybrid. Good hybrid involving different types of cacti. Lobivia crassicaulis is involved here. A Gröner candicans hybrid is involved. And look what I got. Nothing. Really nothing. And I had the same experience in the other container, unfortunately. Okay. This is nice. I like that. This is from a Gräsers Erfolg cross. Gräsers Erfolg Selbstbestäubung crossed with Amun-Re. This is a good combination. Like, if the father can really do something here, the mother is really dominant. So very often when you grow something from the seeds, they follow the mother. But if Amun-Re here, like with the ruffled Gräser hybrid as mother, can really change the body, it would be awesome. Could be amazing. So I'm growing them with the highest of hopes. Apart from that, most seedlings look healthy. There's one that's somewhere down there that I need to pick up again. I'm not sure what it has. It looks bad already. It came up the wrong way, and that could already be the reason. Sometimes you can save them, but at this point, you know, it goes very fast. And if they are already disadvantaged by not having connection in the first weeks, it might not recover. I fixed it now, gave it firm connection to the soil, but it might not be able to catch up what it lost by not being the right side up. Okay, they would stay in there for now. Seedlings look healthy, the others, and this can stay a month or two in this container for now. This is a salad takeaway container. You can use them to grow stuff. Very useful sometimes, and you can reuse them. As long as you make sure you're not getting pests in it, you can reuse them, you can disinfect them. Okay, in this one, the color stands out to me. Color looks a little, I don't know. It's an alarming kind of thing, an alarming trait. This could be variegation, could be malnutrition. We will see. Whatever it is. At this point, I don't want to start fertilizing. I want to wait for another 2 weeks or so. They are still too young. At this point, you can really harm them if you start fertilizing too early. It really depends on the concentration on the fertilizer. So if you are in doubt, I would always dilute the fertilizer heavily if you really decide to fertilize them this early. But I think we need to wait a little longer. In my opinion, it's even too early for malnutrition to have developed, because they are not old. They are maybe 3 weeks old. So in that time, already germinating, running out of nutrients in the soil, and having a discoloration, I don't think so. I don't believe that this is the case. I believe this could be variegation. So for now, I will leave it in. Here's a seedling that is lying, and I hate that. Could be fungus gnat, could be just a lazy seedling. We will see. It looks like the root system is injured. Now it fell somewhere, and I have no idea where it is. Okay, I have it. So let me have a closer look at the seedling. It still has some soil left to it. You should usually not handle them like this, but at this point I want to know if I take it out or not, and I'm more likely to take it out than not. But yeah, the fact that it still has some soil attached to it gives me hope it might actually recover. But there's a discoloration at the very base. Like sometimes you can see just a layer, a tiny layer of skin at the base that becomes transparent just slightly, and that tells you if the seedling, if the root is intact or not. In this case, it looks damaged, but I'm giving it a chance. I constantly look into the container, so if it becomes that zombie seedling that tries to bite the others, I will catch it in time. Apart from that, yeah, we'll see. Color doesn't look normal. This is between, this is 2 Lobivia hybrids, so not really something where you would say that it's a huge genetic, a wild hybrid, you know? Like between 2 different, very distant genera. It isn't that. Yeah, looks good. I like that they are in center a little bit, not all over. Apart from that, this is also Gräserserfolg, Selbstbestäubung in Amun-Re. Same hybrid cross. Sonat 2. If you ask me what's most likely, these seedlings here will follow the Gräser hybrid. It's just my gut feeling, my experience over the years. Very often the Gräser hybrid comes through. But it doesn't mean it's impossible. I often like to use Gräser as a father that can add the ruffles to totally different type of hybrid. Okay, so let me bring up my thing here because I want to start watering. Yeah, these look okay. You can even see the discoloration, the reddish discoloration in the video. That is an indicator for stress, for dry soil. But they are already heavily watered. I turned down the heat a little bit because I was seeing that. I've been spraying them more often over the day, and I want to water them again now. Just doing it here in this thing because it's been a mess lately. My desk looked like you could just let a goat graze here. Looked like landscape, natural landscape. So yeah, these here a little bit too deep. Skin color raises my red flag here. The skin color is already a little bit weird. There's a mild discoloration, reddish, just to indicate stress, also from drying out in between. But it's okay. These don't look like they are losing substance, and that is what you need to look out for. If they lose substance, if they really decrease and decrease and decrease, get smaller and smaller, and I'm not seeing that. So the watering that I did, I've really tried to water more, to step up with the watering, and that worked. So this one will get water too, simply because the soil dries out so fast in between. I have them, like I sprayed them this morning, maybe around 7, while I was waiting for my toast to be toasted. And in that time I sprayed them, and since then they are dry again. So the soil dries out very fast, and even as an organic soil. Keep that in mind when you're working with mineral medium, because the soil will dry out even faster. Yeah, exactly. I need a goat here. I seriously consider getting a goat. The only reason I haven't gotten a goat is because my wife hated goats. And I'm getting divorced now, so maybe I'm getting a goat. I seriously consider it more than I should. And because of the ticks, because of, I don't know, maybe I need more livestock around that eats the ticks that I have here. The only reason I don't have livestock, for one, you need to keep it safe here. And you also have to, I hate losing animals that I love. And every animal that you have is one that you one day will lose again. And I just hate that feeling. But if it weren't for that, I might already have one. Yeah, goats are great. I like them. They are a little bit difficult, but so am I. The older you get, they have that kind of unhealthy disregard for whatever you want them to do. They don't care. And I appreciate that, coming up, choosing that kind of way of life. I like that. Exactly. Spirit animal. Okay, so yeah, here also they're a little bit too low in the pot, which didn't really hurt them, but it stands out. They have discoloration from drying out too. That is something that I see on almost all the seedlings that are out. They react to the lamp. They are stressed a little, but it doesn't mean you have to change anything. As long as you make sure they are not declining, they are not getting smaller. The little reddish color, I take it. It's just stress. Life is stress. When I get up in the morning, I get stressed. That discoloration in my face, so they react to their environment the same as we do. So yeah, but it shows you should water a little more, or at least turn down the intensity of the lamp. I would love to do that, but it doesn't work like that. That thing doesn't really work. That to tone down the intensity. So the seedlings need to get used to it. The seedlings need to harden up. And that's what we are doing. We are already growing them a little bit hardier. We are not holding hands. The seedlings need to, at some point, they need to be able to make it in a greenhouse. In winter, where it's cold, with freezing temperatures, you know? So yeah, these have been watered now. Here's one that really needs water, because they are smaller. This was one of the containers where I wanted to have them finally out, because they wouldn't grow. So I could finally start fertilizing. And yeah, they need more water constantly. They look healthy. They have healthy spines, but these do not have a lot of room, a lot of substance for getting watering. I'm sorry, but I cannot. I love animals, so none of those things can be possible. Unfortunately, no. I gotta say no. But yeah, apart from that, goats are really great. So yeah, these are Hildewintera seedlings. Not really. I like that they are green for Hildewintera seedlings. Hildewintera is just a little bit more genetically weak due to the bottleneck kind of situation, that there are not so many different populations of it. It's a rare species in nature. I mean, it isn't really, you don't have that huge gene pool like you have with some of the Andean species like Tersheki, Pasacana, you know, these huge, that plants that grow over a huge area where you have that big range. So in this case, every time I have a healthy seedling, I'm happy with that, you know? So yeah, I watered them a little. Want to water them again. Apart from that, they're on a good path. So how cold is it right now? How bad was the frost? If it's only 3 plants, then that's great. I've seen a lot of people post about frost damage in the last 2 months. Started on Reddit. People were showing their plants, asking if something is a sunburn, you know, or showing something that looked like sunburn, but it was actually frost. Oh, that's bad. Minus 15 Celsius. That is wild. Yeah, that at that point, I wouldn't keep anything else. Even in the greenhouse, unheated greenhouse, it would be dangerous. So yeah, not surprised then. That's crazy. That could be the total end for a collection. If you really live at the wrong spot in a really cold night, that could really be devastating. So I'm sorry to hear that. I hope they, like the plants that got it, recovered. So yeah, let's have a look here. Yeah, they're a little too deep. Kind of makes it hard to see the root system. Soil is dry, so I water again. It's that simple. With the cactus seedlings inside, if the soil is dry, I water again. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if I watered 2 times already. Okay. Yeah, these here, too many in the pot. Oh yeah, with a heated greenhouse, then it will probably be all right. Even though I gotta say, I also lose plants in a heated greenhouse from time to time. You always have that one cold corner, and if you're not really careful, you know, because you can only place the sensor at one spot in the greenhouse, so you need to be careful about choosing the coldest spot. And if you don't do that, you can lose plants here and there. It happened to me also. I just found a plant like recently in the greenhouse with frost damage, unfortunately. And it can also have to do with the health of the seedling. Yeah, these here, too many seedlings, but for now it's okay. They look a little dehydrated, so they will get more water. Want them to get more water within the next couple of weeks. And I try to always water again when the soil dries out. But it's so hard because you don't see it, you know, because they are so deep in the pot. So you can't really see the soil unless you touch it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's exactly right. Look at which parts of the greenhouse you have losses in, and then maybe measure how cold it is there, because you can have a very uneven distribution of heat in a greenhouse. I have that too. Ideally, you would, like, you know, I see a lot of heaters that are placed in, like, hanging down in center, and that kind of allows you to send the heat through the greenhouse easily. But I have it on the ground, and I'm not fully happy about that. It's not that I like that. Okay, so here, Arboricola crossed with colorful, does it say? So this is the Arboricola hybrid, colorful father. So I want to water. These look dehydrated. Check it out. Too small, too deep. You just lose a lot of soil through the pot when you're watering. So this gets water now, and it will get water again in 2 hours. When they are this dehydrated, you need to kind of make up for the loss that they had before. So I want to do that. So here, there's always something running out of the see, the pumice. Go away. I don't like that when I do that. So yeah, let's continue with something else here, because I have a bunch of containers that I wanted to go through to see if we finally have seedlings. For now, it doesn't look like it. Everything that doesn't germinate now gets on my list of bad cacti, bad cactus hybrids. I really hate when I see that seeds aren't viable, and then I start to really try to find out the reasons. So let's see why. This is a botanical plant that flowered for the first time in my greenhouse, and I pollinated it with two different parents. And unfortunately, like both flowers, it had 2 flowers, and both with a different one. And unfortunately, the seeds that I tested here, they don't look good. They don't look viable. This looks really bad. Disappointing, to say the least. We have to try those again, because some of the other tests have surprised. I don't want to sort anything out as unviable if I haven't tested it really well. And I also need to make sure that this time I test both fruits, you know, seeds from both different fruits, because one could be genetically healthier than the other. Or maybe I could have made a mistake cleaning, where I just left the seeds in humidity for too long. That can happen. So this is Amun-Re. No seedlings, unfortunately. This might very well be the same container, like the same type as the other container that we had recently. So yeah, total failure here. I think I would start to, I don't know, throw them in the trash. We would see what we do with it. But I'm pretty mad. I'm disappointed. Sometimes you have these amazing hybrids that you would love to see, and you don't see them, you know? Oh, and this is Sörensia arboricola crossed with, no, this is Gräsers Erfolg Selbstbestäubung Cantora and crossed with pink stripes. Also good hybrid. Yeah, a ruffled mother and pink stripes as father. Bad that we don't have seedlings. I really tried to get that color of pink stripes into the Gräser hybrid. I really want to do that, and I did a lot of crosses like that, and eventually, I'm sure, within the next years, we will see some of my hybrids that come out like that. It's just a matter of like a numbers game, you know, the more you have, the more likely at some point you will have that one that is like that. Yeah, but usually with these Gräser hybrids as mother, if they are self-fertile, they are very, you know, they are very fertile. They have a lot of seedlings, and I don't see that here. That could mean that the mother plant here is actually a true hybrid, you know, like truly able to make hybrid crosses. You can maybe get a really good hybrid here that has traits of both parents, which is not the norm with the Gräser hybrids. Very often, Gräser is dominant. So in this case, the fact that these don't come up shows me that it had kind of that the father played a role here. It had a big influence. It influenced the quality of the seeds in a negative way. So maybe we can do it in a good way too. So that is what that tells me. But I'm unhappy that they didn't come up. This is Teleflora. I will water it a little bit more. Maybe the seedlings just need that little extra water. Like the seeds to come up, not the seedlings. Okay. Yeah, apart from that, very disappointing that Teleflora here didn't produce any result that I could show here. It wasn't always the case like that. Some hybrids with Teleflora were good. They came up good. Nice and healthy seedlings. You name it. So here, Pink Stripes is on the label. Pink Stripes 2025. And there's one seedling that looks weak and might not make it. Nothing else, just one seedling. So yeah, not a good sign. You have those genetic incompatibilities. At some point on the stream, I will learn that word, but it's not today. So yeah, one seedling, and that one I don't think we can really. I don't want to be happy about a seedling that looks like it will be gone tomorrow. So I don't want to notice it. I will start noticing them when they produce good results, when they are really showing that they want to grow. Okay, let's take this down. It's a little high here. I don't want to. Okay, yeah, in this one, Mamacita, nothing. I feel like it's okay. We have done enough. This goes into the trash now. At some point, because this was already the old soil, like the black soil that we used in the first germinations, and this was already the second germination cycle with the old soil. At some point, you have to say, this is it. This is the limit. I'm drawing a line, and this goes into the trash. So yeah, and we might do similar ones that I'm opening up now. We might do the same. It's all space that actually blocks space for viable seedlings that you could have, you know. So what is this? Columnar cactus and a colorful father. Unfortunate that they didn't come up here. And also second attempt. Not seeing a lot of hope here. The seedling is in the Empire Strikes Back phase, you know, like nothing is happening here. Nothing good is happening here. So I think it will also go to the trash. Not wasting time anymore. because it's always time that we have to spend on them. Oh, okay. Here's a seedling. And a new one. Yeah. It's not huge, but it's already so big that it could be healthy, that it could actually develop into a healthy seedling. And that is great. I like that. This is Lubivia winteriana. Great Lubivia. I like it. Peruvian species. Likes a little bit of humidity, not too cold. Every time in winter, I lose one or two. I have like 20, 30, and some of them are really a little bit more sensitive. You have to harden them up slowly. They are often among the plants that don't make it through winter if it's too cold. So yeah, this is great. I like that. I will keep it in the bag for now because it's too small. It's too small to take it out. But this will go to the lamp now. It has deserved to go to the lamp now. We have that one seedling that I wanted to have to save face. You know, that this hybrid cross wasn't a total failure. We have that one seedling, and one seedling can be enough. That's how I see it. Yeah, okay, let's continue. I'm so looking forward to the weekend again. I'm glad that it's weekend. The week was unusually long. It felt forever. Okay, so in here, there's also a seedling. Here, yeah, that white stuff there that you see, that little dot, that is a seedling. Whether that will be healthy enough to survive, I greatly doubt it. But we also have that one seedling now. That little bit of sunlight on a rainy day. Maybe we can grow them. Maybe we can grow that thing. Seeds here, this was a hybrid that I call Total Neon. Immensely beautiful flower. So it would be good to have that one seedling, even if it's just one. So this will be closed up again. Sometimes one seedling is all it takes. I had times in my life when I looked at a container where there was one seedling in there, and I looked at it like a total failure because there's only one. But the longer I do it, the more I've seen that one seedling really come out amazingly. So since then, I always give them a chance. Every little seedling that you have, it could be what you need. So that will go to the lamp. Also, I don't want to keep it at the heater because the longer you have that at the heat, the more likely you can suddenly have too much heat. They don't take much. They are little weakling seedlings. So really make sure you, in the beginning, they don't overheat. Overheating is something like when you are inducing germinations, that isn't a huge concern. The moment you have a seedling, things are different. In this case, this is Leuchtfeuer again. Yeah, I'm still thinking about the word. I'm not sure what it is. But something about glowing in the sky, whatever, glowing fire, something like that. And there's a seedling in this one too, but it looks so small. I don't think it would grow. It barely exceeds the soil. So small is it. But also that one seedling makes me move that away from the heater now. I have one seedling. It's okay. It wasn't a total failure that I thought it was. It was just almost total failure. So we will close this thing up again and give it time. Send it to school, and one day it will disappoint me again. So let's continue. This one here. Loxanthocereus. Yeah, Loxantinopsis. Loxantozero is crossed with Echinopsis. And in that case, I can definitely understand when seeds don't come up. It's a intergeneric hybrid. And in those cases, you can sometimes get total failure in regards to viability. It's not good. There's a slim chance that I just didn't have the right conditions for germination, but probably not. Probably this soil is this kind of, the seeds here, they are just unviable. I will leave it in a little longer. This goes back to the heat because the soil looks okay still. I haven't given up. Maybe we can get that one seedling in that one too. This one goes to the trash now. I'm tired of it. You are going into the trash. Yeah. Also Angelo. One of the 3 or 4 containers where I tried to get a hybrid similar to Angelo because I lost the mother. But this is already after the 2nd germination cycle. So I would just do something else with the pot. Okay. And I urgently need bigger pots, by the way. I need to get me bigger ones because I brought the chili again. I want to show them to you again. Check out what we grew here. This is chili. Chili with the spicy stuff. And they need to be repotted again. They have grown quite a lot. I'm sure that they are already root bound. So they will be repotted very soon. And I need the bigger pots for that. Maybe something twice the size. Yes, thank you. I'm really happy. I'm proud. This is going better than I thought. I don't have patience often. You know, like you really need to do a lot with vegetables to keep them healthy. You need to keep everything free. Like the weeding is excess. You need to be very careful that they stay healthy, that they don't get a fungal infection. And in the past, where I lived, every time I had something that successfully grew, the deer ate it. Like we have a lot of deer in the garden. They love the salad too. They love that stuff too. So historically, I had bad experiences with that. But right now, inside, they're going great, and it's fun to show on the stream. I'm sure when we have the the fruit, when they are really spicy, I will try them out. And I hate it. I don't like that spiciness. I just like plants that can defend themselves, like cacti. I appreciate that, you know? Game appreciates game, or something like that. Game respects game. And I like when a plant doesn't go lightly. So yeah, we will grow them. And when they are really spicy, someone might have to call the ambulance when I'm doing it here. But I really want to grow them out. So let's see what we have here. Oh, also Leuchtfeuer. I will look up that word, like the English word. It's one that everyone knows, but it's just not often used. For now, this is also total failure here. No seedling, and I'm not sure if I want to continue moving on with this thing, you know, because the viability is so bad. I don't think I want to invest more time in that. Just looking at this, the complete absence of any kind of life. Even the one seedling that I got in that other container doesn't look healthy. So I don't think I can. There's a lot that I could grow with that. We will see. I give it time. I give it a chance. But in order to continue trying to get seedlings here, it doesn't justify the space and the time that you have to put in. We will just make a new cross this year and hope that it will be better. I believe in myself. I believe that I can have Leuchtfeuer offspring that isn't completely devoid of life. Let's see. No seedlings. Echinopsis glauca. Yeah. This is another one that failed totally so far, I think, or at least to a large degree. And I would try that again. If I still have seeds of Echinopsis glauca, I want to grow them. I've shown Echinopsis glauca on the channel. Anyone who wants to find out more about that plant, look it up on YouTube on my channel. It's really good. The videos that I posted, really nice. I was filming in the evening. A blackbird was singing in the background in the evening. Nice summer evening. Flowers opening up. Really nice experience. Really good. So it would be great to have offspring. But that, no seedling here. So in this case, I want to try again with new seeds, new soil. We're starting fresh without the old kind of history. We are starting completely fresh, trying to sow them out again. If I have seeds left, and I think I do, then we will try it again. In this case, this is done. Also, you go into the trash. Apart from that here, I have two more, and they all look like there are no seedlings in them. This is a newer one, I think. This could be the new soil. Lobevia hybrid with Splash. A hybrid called Splash. I think it's by Jürgen Theisinger, but I'm not really that well experienced with Lobevia. I love them. I make crosses with them, but I don't really follow all the progress that's been made, that's been done. I try to use them in a way where I can combine them with a columnar cactus. I need them for that specific purpose. And yeah, that's why I like them. And the flowers are great. I want those flower colors from Lobevia in a columnar cactus. But I don't really look at much of the other work there anymore, because I go into a different direction, branching off into a different direction. So in this case, also total failure. You've been a very bad cactus seed. Let me see what it is. Columnar cactus also. These might be the same as the other one that I opened up that also didn't have seedlings. And this is also second attempt, second germination cycle, goes into the trash. Today we're really cleaning up here. And I say it's going into the trash. You could still theoretically reuse the soil, grow something with it outside. You couldn't sow out in it, because you would never know which one of the seedlings, maybe one of them would come up later, and you reuse the container to sow out something new. You would never know which one it is, or it would take a while. It would waste time. So you could reuse that for the bigger plants, maybe outside in the greenhouse. That's what I often do with it. But everything needs to be clean. You need to check. Make sure you don't spread disease throughout the containers, throughout the collection. Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure how much battery I have left. Let me see. Oh, I have a little bit more, 33, I believe. So yeah, I will finish this up. I have a few more seedlings that I have over there that I forgot. So let's go through them, and then we're getting there. There's just too much stuff to do. Every time I'm done with the seedlings, I already, I'm running out of time for the seed stuff that I would also love to do. So in this case, Bamboy. And this was a second germination attempt with two seedlings that came up. Here's one, you see it here. I kind of smashed it here. The other one, let me see where it is. Okay, I found it. I excavated it. So yeah, here's one and here's one on the side, and it's been already Got to clean up a little, take everything out that rolls over the seedling here. But at least we have seedlings. This was Bamboy. First attempt didn't work. First time the seeds didn't come up. And now we have two. Like two seedlings. Might not be healthy, but we would see. For now, it's okay. Hey, welcome to the stream. Great to have you. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. Great that you're back. So, yeah, these will go to the lamp now. You have life in there, 2 seedlings, that is enough. Later today, I really need to make sure that I carefully like put the things at the right spots. I don't want to have anything with seedlings at the heater anymore. And I'm getting close to a point where I'm turning off the heater. If I want to sow out in the future, now I will probably use it with a little LED lamp. It's just too warm to continue to heat all the time because so many seedlings, I need to water them all the time then. Yeah, great to have you here. So yeah, hope you have a great weekend. Finally, a little bit time to take it slower. So yeah, great to see you. In this one also no seedlings. Echinopsis glauca also. This will go away also. I'm tired. I don't want to waste any more time. Even if we would get seedlings now here with this one, I'm not convinced they would be healthy. If you have seedlings, like if you have a container where you have to do immense work to just get the seeds to germinate, those might not be the best use of your time. So this will go to the trash probably. Unfortunately, this year we will try again with Echinopsis glauca. And I recommend everyone to look up the videos. It's a beautiful species. And it's a species that is very often misidentified. I like on social media, Facebook, really experienced people treat them as a form of Echinopsis peruviana, Trichoceros peruvianus, because they look so similar, and you only see the difference later on when they're bigger. When they get bigger, they have a different kind of spination, different kind of spines, different flower, different size, different height. They only get 2 meters tall. At some point, they start branching from below, like chalensis. In my opinion, they are close to chalensis. And so, in the same way, you often have plants of like Trichoceros chalensis is often misidentified as Trichoceros peruvianus too. And it's the same with Echinopsis glauca, Trichoceros glaucus. Okay, here, look at this. Second germination cycle. Old soil, old seeds, but suddenly we have seedlings. This is great. I like that. And I put the LED lamp above it to put light from the top, to give light from the top. That is what I did here. And I'm pretty happy with the outcome. There are even green seedlings. You know, some of them look variegated like the classic seedlings that you get from Teleflora. But here you have green ones. We will see where that goes. Maybe they will be healthy. Apart from that, yeah, this will go to the lamp now. Can't have that at the heater anymore. Can't take it out of the bag because too small. But for now, I'm happy. Oh, by the way, look at this. When I look at the water here, it makes clear what kind of a problem we had with the soil in the first place. Probably this was so dry that the soil didn't take in the water, didn't take in the humidity, and that keeps the seedlings, that keeps the seeds from coming up. So this goes to the lamp now, finally. Finally having seedlings after 2 or 3 months. Okay. Yeah, this one, nothing. Feathers. Interesting kind of flower, interesting hybrid. Feathers, in my opinion, it's one of those that like with ragged kind of flowers, really interesting kind of flowers. but genetically not superbly healthy, not great, you know. So we will see. No germination. So this is one, I only did one germination cycle, I feel, with these, because the soil is the second soil that we used, and it looks okay, it looks still fresh. The bags, you can really feel the bags degrading over time, and this still feels okay. So maybe I will give this another chance, maybe a second germination cycle. So let's put in a little bit of water. This will go to the heater again, no seedlings, so no real danger. No danger to overheat anything. The seeds themselves, they haven't come up yet, so maybe a little bit of heat will help them, will wake them up. Okay. For the future, I will really try to clean up, sort out what we can. What's this? Can't read it. Teleflora. Yeah, Teleflora. No seedlings here. Oh, here is one. It's totally covered with soil, but there is one here. Let me remove that little dirt at the tip. Okay, there it is. There's one seedling. The Saving Grace. Okay, so I will water this also a little bit more. Maybe it didn't have perfect water setting. The fact that we have gotten a seedling now could point to that direction. Very often it is that you try to induce germination and the soil dries out so fast that it interrupts the germination process. So now that we have a seedling, I will put it to the lamp. It's getting crowded, but doesn't matter. Important to always have interesting plants that I can show on the stream. Okay, and here, this is the last one, by the way. Columnar and a color hybrid as father. So genetically a little bit more distant. This goes into the trash now. I feel it's time. Sometimes you have to let go of things that hold you back, that waste your time, and we're doing that now. Okay. Yeah, this is good for now. I think we've had a lot of fun stuff on the stream today. I still haven't repotted that one seedling here, that chili seedling. But I don't have a big enough pot. I need to buy pots at the very next chance. Next time I'm getting an order, I will buy new pots, and then we will pot up all the plants that have reached the limit of their pots. So yeah, this was great today. Thank you guys for being here. I think we're ending the stream now, but I greatly appreciate it. As always fun to be here. It's a privilege to be allowed to be here and do this, represent the hobby, be like, you know, when you look at that streaming landscape, people discovering different kind of streams on social media, it is important that we are there also with this good hobby, that people see that there's this movement of people that appreciate nature, that grow these plants, and that value that natural kind of lifestyle that I want to bring on the stream, on the channel. So yeah, it's great that we're there. It's great that people can find us and can say, wow, this is a nice, positive hobby that I never knew you could do. So yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, maybe a little bit earlier, a little bit later, but I will be there. Have a great time. I believe in you. Thank you, everyone. Until tomorrow.